Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. Today, I am excited to talk to you. I have just returned from Cervical Thoracic seminar in St. Paul, Minnesota, not Minneapolis, next to Minneapolis. It's the first seminar I've been to in close to 2 years since I hurt my back. And going into my back injury, my goal was to try to go to a seminar a month for a year to be visible, to network with people, and to get the word out about my coaching business and about how I can help you sell MFR, talk about MFR, have a better, stronger business so that you can go to as many seminars as you want and afford it easily so that you can stay at the seminar hotels or an even better hotel and have a luxurious experience when you go so that you can afford to go on family vacations, so that you can afford to take time off, so that you can afford to retire when you're tired and you're done working. And all of that was cut a little bit short when I hurt my back. I spent 1 year trying to figure out what was going on with my back, and then 1 year recovering from what was going on with my back and having surgery. And I was having a really bad flare before I went to this seminar, but I'm doing so good now. So anyway, all of that to say is what I wanted to talk about today for this episode, which is, and I don't have a script for this, so we're just winging it. So bear with me. But I want to talk about visibility and word of mouth, okay? And what the differences are and why we should be leaning into visibility where we can and not relying on word of mouth for lots of reasons. So let me tell you a little bit about what I mean. Okay, so for the last 2 years, I really have relied on my reputation, my students getting the word out, my social media posts getting the word out, my website getting the word out about what it is that I do. And it's worked fine. I did not lose money not going to seminars and not marketing directly to people in person. But I also didn't expand my business during that time as well. And my goal has been growth, right? Everybody knows I have a goal to make $1 million in a year. That would require 333, isn't that such an interesting number? Students joining the program in 1 year's time. And I'm closer to a third of that, maybe a little over a third of that per year, which is still really, really great. And it's plenty of money to sustain my business and to pay myself and to put on lots of programming and have a great business. But it's okay to want more and to have goals, right? So in order to reach that goal, what's working is working, but it's not working for the goal that I have, okay? So keep that in mind as we talk about these things. So word of mouth works and it also doesn't work, right? It works to the point where I hear people say, oh, I have a word of mouth business and I'm as busy as I want to be. And I just want to know, what does that mean? I'm just content with just enough, or I'm just content with not being fully booked, or I just can't handle anymore because I don't have systems in place to handle anymore. I don't really know what that means when I hear people saying that. But I'm going to find out, because the next time I hear somebody say that, I'm going to ask them. These are all the conversations that I overheard while I was at the seminar. And that's why it's really important to me that I go to seminars, because I want to hear exactly where you all are at in your active or growing MFR practices so I can help at all levels and be reminded of what people are thinking in the beginning before they start, when they've got clients, when they are getting close to fully booked, when they're working till 9 p.m. because they think they have to because they're sharing an office space, like all of those things. So word of mouth, like why can word of mouth be a problem? When you are relying on word of mouth, you are relying on other people to tell your story, other people to tell your brand, other people to influence clients to come to you, which is great and it does work. But again, you're relying on your reputation, on everything, on what that person is going to say about you or not say about you. And it twists it a little bit, right? Like people are not getting the pure message as what would come exactly from you if you were directing the narrative, if you were the one being visible, telling the story, inviting the person into your office. And also, you have to rely then on people being accurate and knowing your first and last name, knowing your phone number, knowing your website, knowing where your office is located, knowing what your hours are, knowing what your pricing is, knowing what you offer. Especially if you don't have a website or you don't have somewhere for someone to go to find out information about you. Okay. I had a great conversation with someone, a therapist who has just the JNAP for their scheduling, which is great. Like, if nothing else, have online scheduling. But the limiting part of that is if you go there to schedule, it's just like, here, opt in to pay me money, but here's zero information about me and about what we're going to do. And that's why it's limiting, but it's okay. Like, if nothing else, please have online booking. I feel like that puts you 100 steps ahead of a lot of people. So that's great. Okay. So now let's talk about visibility for a few minutes. I think this is one of those things that therapists avoid. I'm just going to be like brutally honest and vulnerable with you all. I have a lot of social anxiety, believe it or not. It is one thing for me to sit behind the computer screen and talk into a microphone and do these episodes and put them out. And this used to be very difficult for me, but now I've done it close to 300 times. So now this is what I do. I'm used to it. I've done it over and over and over again. And I've really expanded my nervous system around being seen in this way. But you're not seeing my face when I do this. And I may expand into video and put that out eventually of me recording these, but that's not just something I'm interested in yet. But back to the social anxiety. When I go to seminars, I literally feel like I'm going to throw up or poop my pants like before I come in every day. And I struggle with that. And I've been kind of like this my whole life. I don't love big social encounters. I love small groups. So it's hard for me to be visible in this way. But what I've learned is it's necessary. And when I'm willing to go through the throw up, poop my pants experience and survive, I get to help more people. And I just want to share that with you so that if you are experiencing that or some other kind of like symptom before you go to talk to your clients about what it is that you do. And that's what I'm doing when I go to a seminar, right? It's a huge opportunity for me to be with the people that I can help directly and to talk about myself and to be like, hey, I do this thing. Would you like this help? Or, hey, I do this thing. Would you like some free resources? Right? It's putting myself out there, being very direct, and it feels terrifying. It's scary. I am going to do it anyway. And this is the thing. When I was sitting there on day one, I'm like, okay, this is exactly why I'm here. There are so many people in this room right now that don't have a business, that do have a business, but it's not going well, or they've had a business for 40 years and they don't even understand how much better it could be. And so it would be a disservice if I don't say anything, if I don't let people know that I'm there, or if I fully rely on word of mouth for someone to find me. It's going to take so much longer if I rely on word of mouth and referrals for people to find me. It's going to take so much longer. This is part of the reason why myofascial release after 60 years is still considered, like not a mainstream modality and not something that people know about. A lot of that is on us as therapists because we refuse to be visible. We refuse to learn how to talk about it and sell it because it's too uncomfortable. We refuse to show up in ways that make us feel like we're going to poop our pants or vomit, right? We avoid all of that stuff. So every time we do that, we slow the growth of our profession. We slow the mainstream ability, like the visibility that being mainstream would have for us, right? So just know that like we have a lot on our shoulders. And when we choose to not be visible because we want to avoid those feelings, it just slows everything down. And the same is true for your business. When you avoid going to events where lots of people could see you or opportunities where you would have to tell people your name and what you do, if you're actively avoiding those, you are actively slowing your business down. You are actively slowing your profession down. And that seems really harsh, right? But that's just the reality of it. And I had that kind of like slap me against the face when I was at this seminar. I was like, okay, for the last 2 years, I've really been relying on my reputation and word of mouth. And I'm doing the thing that I don't want people to be doing. So here I am, I'm back again, and I'm going to be at seminars. And the good thing about that is like I get to relearn all of these skills that I've been accustomed to having for the last 15 years, but really as a beginner because I'm not practicing hands-on and then just taking that 2-year gap from going. So I'm super excited to have my skills refreshed and to really be in the position of beginner mindset at the seminars. I watched some people not be in the beginner mindset and need to control their trading. And that happens at every seminar. And I'm always like, okay, cool. I'm just happy to not be in that position for this time because I've been there too. So it's really, really fun to be there and to have the experience of all of the treatments, to be able to physically give treatments again and to hear people's struggles and to hear their wins. You know, some of my clients were there and we went out for lunch. There was 6 of us total. And it was so fun to go around the table, everyone from like, I'm going to start my business soon to like, I'm fully booked out and I've raised my rate, and hear people say, I just raised my rate and I just had someone pay it for the first time. It's so fun. It's so fun and so rewarding and so special to be a part of that. And I just feel so much gratitude and I feel so thankful that I even get to do this. So you guys have heard me say this before, but I really literally, every time I wake up and I have a coaching call to do and I log in and like 50 people show up on the call, I'm always just in awe of our MFR community and the people that want to do this, that want to make their businesses better, that want to feel better in their businesses, and that want to make MFR mainstream. So going back to that idea of the vulnerability of being visible, remember your why. Why are you an MFR therapist? Like, really, why are you doing this? It's probably not to make X amount of money, right? That's going to be a positive side effect. It's probably something more like, because I want to help people, because it's important for people to know this work exists, because people don't have to live in pain forever, because. Find your why. And it's also okay if it's because you want to make a lot of money, because it's totally possible. When you understand and remember your why, you are always going to have an easier time of showing up, even if you feel terrible and you have to overcome, or not even overcome, but sit in yucky feelings in order to do something. I think that was my biggest lesson over the weekend is I'm going to be okay. I had to tell myself this. I'm going to be okay. I can handle any feeling or sensation in my body. And there's lots of people here to support me. I really leaned into my coaching clients and I was just like, listen, I'm literally going to die right now. And they're like, no, you're not. You're good at this. Like, people want what you have, right? Like, they were backing me up. And even if they weren't there, I think that I could hype my own self up through that. But it was really nice to have the support and to have some familiar faces and to meet in person. So be willing to feel any feeling and do it anyways. You're going to change the trajectory of myofascial release in the world. That's a big deal. It's just a super big deal. And I think as stewards of the modality, we have to be willing to talk about it. We have to be willing to show up in places where we don't feel like we belong. We have to be willing to say, hi, I'm a myofascial release therapist. I can help you. We have to be willing to do the visibility work. So what is it going to take for you to be visible? Where can you show up? What can you do in the next week or two that makes you more visible? I was talking to a client at the seminar and I was like, have we never met in person? And she's like, no, we haven't met in person. And I'm like, well, I feel like, and I've never coached her live, right? But she's gotten great results. The reason why I feel like I've met her or coached her in person is because she gets a lot of written coaching, but also because she does live, like films, like live videos on her Instagram and Facebook pages. So she's sitting in her car. Shauna, I'm talking about you, shouting out. She's sitting in her car. She's talking. She doesn't have a ton of makeup on. She just is a normal person talking about what it is that she does or summarizing her day. And through those like 30-second videos, I feel like I know her. So imagine if you were willing to do that and your clients felt like they knew you too. It's kind of amazing and it's not that hard. But she had to be willing to be vulnerable and show up in that way and let people see her in the same way that I have to be vulnerable and show up at seminars and let people see me, let people judge me, let people not like me, let people love me, let people love what I do, right? There's both ends of the spectrum. And I'm just going to lean into the people that want what I have and that love what I'm doing. And if the other people, there'll always be that end of the spectrum, and that's okay. I'm going to love them too. And I'm going to love myself. So if you get nothing else out of this episode, I want you to think about all of the ways where you are relying on word of mouth, advertising, and your reputation. And then I want you to think about all of the places where you could be visible. And I just want you to do the visibility piece 50%. And then let me know what happens. Send me an email, clientcare@themfrcoach.com. Let me know what you learned from this episode. I hope it's helpful. I think if you just try to be visible, the momentum that is gained every time you do that, because you change as a person and you grow and you're willing to take different risks, you're willing to say things differently to clients, it's really helpful. And your clients will thank you for it. Right now, there is someone looking for you and they just cannot find you. So make sure to shore that up and to fix that for them so that they can find you. All right. Have a great week, everyone. I will see you on another episode. If you're catching this episode live on Monday, August 5th, make sure you join me for my webinar that I'm having at noon Central Time today. You can register by going to themfrcoach.com/webinar. And if you missed today's webinar, I'm going to be doing live webinars a couple times a month. So you can go to that same URL and find when the next webinar is and sign up for it. And we'll send you emails inviting you to it with the link and giving you the replay. And if you haven't already done so, my brand new book is out and available on Amazon. Your MFR Business Starts Here is out in the world. I'd love for you to grab a copy. All right. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to the MFR Coaches Podcast. If you're ready to grow your myofascial release practice, make sure to sign up for my next free training. These live webinars are designed to help you take real steps towards building a fully booked, profitable business. You can save your seat and find the latest dates at themfrcoach.com/webinar. And if you're looking for more support, the Foundations program is now open year-round. Inside, you'll get coaching, tools, and community to help you get fully booked and stay that way without burning out. One last thing before you go. My brand new book, Your MFR Practice Starts Here, is now available. It's a must-read for any MFR therapist who wants to build a business that actually works. You can grab your copy on Amazon and get your companion guide by going to themfrcoach.com/book. Start implementing right away. I'll see you in the next episode.